Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're going to be taking a look at the Leader Hey Mama dance concept video from the first season of Street Woman Fighter. Now, I was able to get footage of the dance rank mission from all 8 doing it and the final 4, which I cannot say that I was able to do that with the rest of them. So I am excited that I got to see the fuller process with this one, which is really cool. I will also say that the quality of this video that we're about to watch is the only one I could find with my location limitations. So please forgive me if the quality is like, girl, what are we looking at? I tried. Okay, so we're just gonna treat it as what it is, and we're just gonna look at it and have a good time with some feedback. Let's go ahead and watch. Nice. Woo!
Yes, I be your woman. Yes, I be your man.
Yeah.
Yes, I be your girl. Forever your lady. You ain't never gotta worry. I'm down for you, baby. Best believe that when you need that, I'll provide.
Yeah.
Have it. I'll
Sheesh, ladies.
when you need that, I'ma let you have it.
Drum like dum diddy day. I like that Ike is really doing well here. Everyone's blending in really well. This is a great formation. Be your man. Yeah. Wow. Wow, okay. So I know that was a full cam and then it broke into this because I wish I could have seen the concept video version of this. That's freaking cool having that smoke. That is really cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Got you. Yeah, that's super cool. All right, let's take a look here. Initial thoughts. I think this one is my favorite out of all the ones in the first season when it comes to the concept video itself. Once again, though, we got to factor in your girl does not have as much access to the other concepts, so the quality near as much here. So we're not going to really compare them as much in that regard. But I really liked the formation choices, the layers, how she chose to take them away, bring them back. And her as a featured dancer, as the main dancer, I mean, what she was wearing, a lot of times she bled in, like she didn't stick out the whole time, which I think actually made this look really nice because she had extra accessories, of course, but just really looking through though, this is really nice. I like the full cam here. Like, that's a really nice moment of having everybody frame in. So if you take a notice here, everyone's kind of, you know, accented down. I keep mad impressed with her because remember, I'd seen her and she couldn't do the choreo. Like she forgot the choreo whenever she auditioned it. So I think like I'm really proud of her personally that everyone just freaking ate this choreo. This was great. And I liked it too. It made sense. Everyone has their own little moments there. Artistry. Very clean. That was fun. Did you notice that? We had some of the people up. I'm trying to see who does she have Snake where? Is it just my front 3 and then the rest go the same way? I loved it. I don't know why I can't figure out I feel like I'm just now I'm 0.5 so I can really see. I don't know what direction who's going where. Here. Let me stop it there. Okay. They're going outside. These two are. Okay. I don't know why it's bothering me so much. She's going outside this way. She's going this way. She's going this way. She's going No. This way, this way, this way, this way. Yo! Yo! I freaking love this choice so much. Wow! This is astronomically impressive what I'm seeing here. Because it looks so nice. And I don't think if personally, like personal experience, I don't think I've really ever seen somebody approach a formation dynamic like that with the people they chose. Because look, she had the 2 people here match her. The 3 people here match her. And then she went the same way as them. So you ended up with 4 and 4, right? And then the guys, wow. It makes sense why I had to stop it, because I've never seen that order like that placement before for me. Now I can't say that because I just saw it. That is cool. It looked like she almost missed it. This girl right here almost missed her cue. I'm glad she caught it though. This is fun going with the 3. So this one is easier to tell. So you have your 3 going on the first one and my outside people going the second. It's really nice. It's 3, 5. So what's nice is she actually did 2 odd subtle formations. So she did a group of 5 and a group of 3. And and I've mentioned this in a previous video. A lot of choreographers that I personally know prefer to work in odd numbers versus even numbers, because with even numbers, you always got to factor in symmetry at all times. It is really difficult to create a point without hiding someone. So the group of 8s are actually really interesting challenges in and of themselves. They're just even numbers in general, because when you have everybody there, you have to make a formation where you want to make sure you see everybody. It's just nicer that way. It's nice to have those numbers, and it doesn't look distracting knowing that, oh, there's somebody directly behind somebody else. It's you're gonna be able to micro look at the range of the execution of movement, especially if it's unison. That's a complete side note though. But here, I really love the formation choices they chose here, because everyone's still here in this formation. All 8 of them are represented, but it doesn't look even, but in a good way. Like, it's still symmetrical and it still makes sense, but it's not treated like, oh, it's a group of 8. Like, it really feels like an odd number. And that's kudos to, I'm assuming NOZE is the one who made those calls and the formations. I love them. That's one thing why I love this group. Yeah, even here, look. So she's keeping it in the odd formation. So she only moved 5. So you have your 5 here, then you have the 3 in the back tailoring off, but they're still in window so you can see them. So this is just a fun fact. Whenever you're working with dancers and you have, like, it's good to, whenever you have your back and your front, it's good to have those the same number, and then your middle at either more people or less people. It's really difficult, not difficult. Like, let's say if this was a group of 9, you would probably put your 3rd person right here, or you could do, if you had 9 people, you would do 4, and then you would do 3, and then you would do 2. So it creates a pyramid. So like, but once again, it's an odd number. So going here, I really like the calls that she made in her formations were the right calls, really. And that's why I think I love this one so much more. And it's not like the content is astronomically better than the other ones. All of them are pretty stout in and of themselves, but just, I think the formations really bring the choreo together and really makes this look really tasteful as a group. And I love that. And it's clean too. Like, they give off leader energy because they're leaders. They give off that energy of everybody can hold their own. And I love that. But right here, so she made a really good call. So notice this. So remember, it's a group of 8. So she has a group of 3 here and a group of 4 here. So she just committed one dancer to one side. This kind of formation works for that kind of number. Now, if this was a V, a pan out, then she would probably have her move over into the center, and then they peel out evenly on this side, and then she would be in the center, probably lower, you know? So that's just a little different kind of logistic call. So sometimes this didn't take away because they weren't here forever, nor were they doing opposing things. And look, now she has an odd formation that she's working here. And also notice when those dancers peeled away, we don't see them, right? They're gone. They walked away. We didn't see them. We're not seeing them transition back in. But whenever we do see them transition in, look, they're dancing. They're doing something. They're not just walking, you know? And I think that's why it works. Like, they're doing the choreo while they're coming back on stage, which is why it works. And then look here. This is a formation she chose to do. She did a group of 4, a group of 3, and then she has a 1 in the back, right? But also know though, like, let's just keep going. When you see this, you see Aiki went completely down, but then I believe NOZE is in my center, right? She comes back. she goes all the way down, which is actually kind of cool because she's the only one that goes all the way down, and she's in the back center, so you can get away with that a lot easier. Yeah. So just know though, like you notice, Aiki, you couldn't really see her as well in that motion because Noze was really close behind her versus having an entire window of separation like you saw earlier. But now look, she moves to this spot right here. So now you have 4 and 4. But notice that you have, it's still symmetrical because you have this formation and this formation, and she's now sharing her window with Aiki. So she's done a great job of establishing odd looking formations, not odd like weird, but like her formation, she configured them in a way to where normally you do that type of formation when you have an odd number. And I think it's really cool how she configured it to where she still looks like the main dancer, but you have people who surround, or just the spacing is just really cool. I'm very, very impressed with, because like, you know, the turnaround time and everything, just, you can tell there's a lot of experience here whenever you're working with groups. Having group experience and knowing how to direct people around, getting them from place to place, I think is really a really good skill. And they're mirroring that choreo. It looks great. And also, this is just an interesting note here. This is just my one little note. Normally, whenever you have people kind of cross over in their windows, so look, everybody, actually, no, not everybody. These types of things matter. Whenever you're transitioning from one formation to another, I want you to take note of this. What normally happens, you have a choice. Whatever happens over here, gotta happen over here. But here's what they did that was different. Whenever you have them walk, here's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see my front 2 girls, they're gonna go in front of these 2 lines. And then what's gonna happen is these 2 girls are gonna go behind these 2 lines. And the reason why that works is because you have a symmetrical mirror doing it. So not symmetrical mirror, you have somebody in parallel that you're doing it with. Because by them making the same choice going behind their respective line that they're integrating with, that means that these 2 lines are going to make the same choices naturally because their counterparts are making the same choices. I hope that makes sense, but that's why this works. Normally 9 times out of 10, because remember, my scope, I do work with a lot of teenagers and children. Like, I work with young dancers. I don't work with professionals on these types of gigs as much. And so this is a very complex transition in comparison to what normally would happen. Normally I would say, okay, this side goes in front, no matter what, this side goes behind, no matter what, figure it out, is really what I say. And it normally works out, but I really like the fact that they both committed. Because look, ready, look, watch. You see that? And that's how you created that really big enmeshment, and it goes over into this formation. This formation, I already noted it. I freaking love it. My only note is that notice that my side over here is really spaced out between their dancers, and they're really small. It's very compressed, and it's not because of the camera angle. They are centered up on the camera, so that is just my side on the right really just needed to space out a little bit more. But honestly, this is a really nice formation. I love the fact that you have my 2 back-to-back in your columns, and then it fans out. There's just formation choices here that I'm not used to seeing, and I really, really like them. Like, that's so cool because it provided a great opportunity. Like, this is like, I'm gonna be honest, this is very inspiring for me right now, and it makes me want to try different formations because I really love these choices. Just having these people go low, it's still in every other, but normally you see these 2 share a window right here. Normally you have them take this spot and create a full pyramid, but it's really cool that you have them in the back because you have lower people so you can see them. And that was my point I made earlier. I love that so much. Hey mama, mama, hey mama. So also take note too, the reason why that formation worked is because you only had one side moving. They stayed stationary and they transitioned. Now, should she have traveled a little bit more to maintain this angle? Yes, but then look what happens whenever they go. They turn it into a double diagonal. So it went from a pyramid with an extra column. There's a lot of lines happening, I'm sorry. So they turn it into from, you know, this kind of formation into these girls moved over. So now they're at 2 diagonals. I love that so much. The transitions are factored in. My only note here is you notice that NOZE, because she's wearing the most accessories, I noticed, and she's in the front. She should have moved over a little bit more because of the spacing would have stayed maintained, but she just undercut it a little bit. However, I will keep note. Normally, whenever you have dancers who are your front, the people's responsibility to maintain the formation comes from the back, because the person in the very back can see what's happening in the front, but the front cannot see what's happening in the back. So that's just another thing. Should NOZE have scooted out more? Yes, but honestly, like, the other girls should have adjusted accordingly, even though it was really tight, because you want to maintain that diagonal if you want that visual to keep in place. So, but that's still nice that they kept the double diagonal here. And then look at this. This is super fun. However, though, let me see here. So we have one dancer, right? We have one dancer. No, look at this. So these two are sharing, these two are mirrors, and then my back row are mirrors. I really like that. So once again, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She's just making really great choices. Her formation choices are phenomenal. Now this is just another note too. Notice our dancer really utilized her knees. They did not. So that would just be a cleanliness note, especially if you have your center. If she's the one who choreographed it, or maybe she choreographed it, I don't know. That would just been like a director's note, but it is difficult to catch those things if you never like look at it and you're always doing it. If like that's the section you're in and you never like separate yourself to actually look at it, you don't catch those things. That's just from real experience too. But maybe, you know, that's just an overlooked cleanliness thing that I just noticed. Because also notice too that she ended up further back than she did, so it kind of, not ruined, it's not even that far, it just adjusted the symmetry a little bit while people came back on. And then what I really love too is that because you had an odd number, you had an even number come back on stage, and that looked really nice because they danced back on stage. Goodness gracious, I love this. Yep, I love that, and they go back to the circle. Here's my only note. I think Aiki went just a tad bit too early. So look, whenever you have like a peel out, peel out, peel out, you want to make sure everybody's super still and they don't do an extra movement if you really want to show that sharpness of the feature. So you have my 1, 2, 3. So look, Aiki started moving the count before her count was supposed to be. Does that make sense for the move she did? Yes, of course. But it did take away, because of this cam specifically, it did take away from the feature right before her. So that would have just been a note. If you want everybody to be equally featured, you have to make sure that everybody is still, or they have to modify their feature moment to make sure that it's not needing to be prepped on the section before. That's my only note there. Love that. Everybody's nice and strong. I love it. And there's this opening right here at the bottom, where if you're seeing it or getting a camera angle from the front, you're still able to see your feature in the back. I love that so much. And also what's interesting is she's making great choices on which formation. She's not really factoring in the fact that there's 8 people or there's an odd or an even number, right? Goodness. Like the lines, they weren't there long enough for it to really matter. Here, because it's a circle and you're not dealing with symmetry in this case, because it's not like a pyramid or it's not triangles or it's not things with points where symmetry really plays a bigger role. This right here, you know, I think it's just super smart where it's like, no, it doesn't matter that there's 3 people over here and it doesn't matter that there's 4 over here. Do I think that there's needed to be more of a curve like this? It just felt a little more like this versus this is really much of a curve. So she should have pushed back a little bit more. No, hold on. I think she should have pushed over just a little bit or tilted her body a little bit over. But once again, I think that's what it is. Her tilt of her body. So notice that everybody's kind of pushing in and she's here and she's still like hanging here. Well, technically it works. It's her feet. Her feet are more angled like this way when it needs to, her whole body needs to be facing this way. That's a lot of lines, but I hope that makes sense. She comes in. I love that, even with the back, so it makes sense, like having my back person, you know, facing straight back, because it's the very last position. It's totally fine. That ending is super cool. I love that. Wow. So all in all, I would say out of all 4, I mean, I felt this way about the second season because I had watched all season 2's concepts at this point. I would say the leaders is my favorite in formations and in visuals and in dynamics and what she did with her dancers. This one was my absolute favorite. I loved it. Some of the formations were mad inspiring for me personally, where I may even, because I got recital season coming up for a lot of my studios, you know, this is going to be a really good way for me to be inspired and try different things with my kids. So this is really cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in some way. If you are on Patreon and you're watching this, I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you're not on Patreon and you watch this on YouTube, you are about 2 weeks later than those who are on Patreon. So if you're somebody who really wants to get this information or get my reactions, which I'm always appreciative of the support, if you're wanting to get these reactions more in real time as I record them, then you can head over to Patreon. I got all of my tier options. I got a cheaper option, mid, and then a more expensive one, just depending on where you are on your dance journey and what you want out of this channel. And there's all of them give you early access, meaning that as I make these, as I record them, and as I edit them, they go on Patreon first, and then I schedule them away on YouTube. So if you want to be a part of that, I got the link in the description on my channel, and I would love for you to be a part. But you're not missing out on anything if you just stick to YouTube. That's totally fine. You will just have to be more patient on the releases. So, but anyway, thank you guys again, and I will check you on the flip side. Bye.